Hello, welcome to this follow-up video. Yesterday I made a video about Deancy. This video will be about Carbink. This is the team that I was using. I combined Carbink mainly with Polyrat. Polyrat covers the Wishcash Skarmory core and both beat Carbink. This time I'm using Shadow Polyrat. In the previous video I had regular Polyrat because Carbink has some more bulk, so I can drop a little bit on the Polyrat. I also have Umbreon instead of Mandibus, that is to drop a Lantern weakness. So this is the team that I have, pretty much the same as the previous one. Let's see how this goes. There are some really good battles in this video. My first battle with this team is, again, against 010 TSN. I played him with the Deancy team, and now I play him with the Carbink team. You already kind of knows how to play this. I kind of know how to play this. Let's see how this is gonna go. I'm definitely expecting Mandibels from him. Hopefully I can get my Carbink on it. Game 1, he brings the Shadow Wishcash. He did not bring that before. Now he does. This is not an lead I expected, because like a Wishcash lead with a Mandibus in the back is very iffy against a Polyrat. I take the risk here, going to throw in Charge Tech priority, or I basically throw immediately. But the risk here is, I was hoping you would time well, so in that case, I would get this off without being debuffed. Now I do get debuffed, plus I don't have an extra Snarl, and that means I won't win the matchup in the Zero Shields. Well, I don't anyway because of the debuff. But you'll see later that I don't get to my last Snarl here, so that's my last Foul player, which is kind of unfortunate, because he needs, I believe, one matchup more for a Mudbomb, which will knock me out at this point. I mean, if I wouldn't have knocked out anyway, but this is so frustrating, because I will take another attack on the next Pokemon that's going to farm down, even the Polyrat. This time I have Shadow Polyrat over regular Polyrat, and it's going to take more damage as well. I believe this does about half almost. Yeah, puts me into the yellow. In the back is the Cresselia, going to the Clodsire. In the back is Dugong. And I'm basically hard countered. Kind of tough. I was very much contemplating bringing the Giratina, but yeah, I didn't have. It's kind of risky, knowing he likes both Mandibus and Dugong. Giratina does look good against the other four, and I also didn't bring the Carbink this time. Carbink sometimes is very good bench pressure, sometimes is very useful in this kind of team, even against Dugong. Carbink, it has play, it's good, but you know, drones still hit quite hard. Cresselia is a so-so matchup. Lantern is a so-so matchup. Oh yeah, Witchcash and Clodsire are absolutely disastrous. So bring Carbink here. I'm not super inclined to right away. I will bring it at some point, but not immediately. This is not going to be a winning matchup. In comes Cresselia again. Yeah, this is basically useful. I actually throw the Ice Wind here. It's very much over here, though. Let's see. Because I don't think I shield the last attack here. In fact, he's just going to farm me down. That's fair. It's fine. We go on to game number 2. Game number 2 is going to start my comeback. I lead Polyrat into Cresselia. This is so rough. I didn't bring the Carbink again this time, but my Umbreon is very safe into this matchup. Gonna bring it into the Cresselia, so he's forced to swap out basically. In comes Mandibus. This is gonna this is a matchup I'm gonna skip on because we play it out entirely. Look at how long this goes. Me throwing last resort, he throwing aerial ace, and he actually, let's see, is this the final last resort? It's not just yet, but switch advantage is so important here, because I think it's going to be something like Dugong in the back, and in that case, he needs switch advantage. Last resort comes through, he lets it go. He thought it was a foul play, he told me afterwards. So, I have switch advantage now, let's see what comes in here. In comes the Wishcash. I'm very much inclined to bring in Giratina straight away, but he actually throws it right away, which I very much like. My Polyrat is very fine here, has play here. Giratina is very good into both Cresselia and Wishcash, but I want to give my Polyrat a place, because if I bring Giratina immediately into Wishcash and he stays in, then my Polyrat is still aligned to the Cresselia later. So he actually baits with the Grass Knot here. This is kind of an annoying matchup. This is the 2-shield scenario. In the previous video, we had a 2 versus 1 scenario. I'm going to bait the Ominous Wind here. I need to catch up a little bit, because if he baits too much, the Psychic Cuts actually bring it down into Moonblast range, which is very tough. I'm going to go straight Ominous Wind at this point. I'm hoping he lets it go. He actually shields us again. I'm still going to go straight Ominous Wind. I just want to get this low so my Polyrat can finish off that annoying Wishcash. He decides to bait me again. Thinks I would double shield, but I'm not double shielding. I'm going to go for an Ominous Wind again. This should put the Cresselia either... it should either knock out or leave that like 1 HP. Does leave it very low. I should be able to count it down. I have my shield still. Don't need to shield this attack. It is not a Grass Knot, it doesn't matter. In comes the Shadow Wishcash, and he top lefts, because that is very much over. So now we go to decisive game number 3. In decisive game number 3, I lead my Polyrat again. I'm like, there's no way he leads Cresselia again. I lead into the Clodsire. This is a positive matchup for the Polyrat, but it's super annoying. It's very easy to catch. I did bring the Carbink this time. I'm sick of Mandibus. Let's see if I can align that. Let's see, Scald is shielded. The annoying thing here is we paced at the same rate. I didn't get a lot of Scald debuffs at all in this tournament. It is what it is. But since we paced at the same time, it's so easy to catch on something. I'm gonna go for the Scald here. And this is so bad for me. I cannot express enough how bad this is for me, because I need to farm up more energy, so I have energy for the Clotsar later. The energy on the Clotsar is way too dangerous. I'm already in Earthquake range on the Poliwrath. Now going into the Umbreon, I'm confident with letting go entirely, but I think that my opponent won't get to 3 attacks here. He's already fired off 1 now. He needs 2 more. I think I should be able to get a farm down. He actually lives on 1 HP again. This makes me super annoyed at this point, because this leads me into farm down range for whatever comes in next. Or he can just knock me out with the Clotsire at this point. Let's see what comes in. Is Clotsire coming back in? No, it's the Mandibus. Now this is good. This is very good for me, because my Carbink walls this so incredibly hard. There is not a world where Mandibus beats Carbink. Well, maybe it's like very low HP, but I have a full Carbink. Mandibus is never ever gonna get through this. That Clotsire is a problem though, because if I don't get rid of the Clotsire, it will see how fast I switch there. Immediately, I need to get all this energy off on the Clotsire immediately before he can fire it into me. So I have to throw immediately there. I'm gonna shield this up. I need to preserve my Poliwrath. And he actually baits me, which is very smart, but I will be able to get to another attack here. I didn't realize I would get to Scald there. Scald would definitely knock out. Icy Wind won't, but this at least will guarantee a debuff still, plus a super effective damage. Now the Earthquake on my Carbink, if it would get there, still won't do any damage. So I'm very safe at this point. Double debuff Earthquake still knocks me out. I'm going to Rock Throw down this Clotsire. It will get to an Earthquake. Now, Diancie may faint here, but look at this big boy. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. And my opponent top lefts. Yeah. Nothing he can do there. Carbink just punching the Mandibus. So yeah, really vital that Umbreon basically allowing me to take game 2, right? Flipping the switch advantage. And now Poliwrath finding the right spot was my MVP. My next matchup is against 2-time regional champion Colin. There were 8 people in this tournament, but I happened to get the 2 players that also played against me in the challenge in the previous video where I had the Diancie. This time he is running the team of Lyle Jeffs, which is also not great against Carbink. Chargerbug, Shadow Sableye, Altaria are basically obsolete, and Vigoroth, it doesn't have a great time against Carbink either. With shields up, it's okay-ish, but it's not great there. Skarmory, Shadow Whiscash though, a strong core, but that is also why I have the Poliwrath, because it covers that core. Let's see how this goes. Last time he beat me, he led his Altaria into my Diancie. This time I lead my Whiscash into his, my Carbink into his Whiscash, which is unfortunate. My safe switch at first was the Swampert, but for some reason I went into the Poliwrath anyway. I didn't think he would have a solid answer there. He actually does have the Altaria in the back, which is interesting. I guess this line kind of makes sense. Because if he sees the Poliwrath lead with the Whiscash, basically Poliwrath is my only Whiscash answer. He gets Charge Up earlier, by the way, which is great for me. But basically, if he sees that, then he just lets he just tries to sweep it to Skarmory in the back, because Poliwrath is also my only Skarmory answer. I'm gonna let this go, hoping that I can get a Mudshot down here. Look at this. I need 8 Mudshots to farm this down before he gets to an attack here, and I get it! Exactly 8! I have so much energy. And because the Altaria is double debuff, the Shadow Swampert barely took any damage there. Let's see what comes in here. It is the Shadow Whiscash. I'm just gonna go straight Hydro Cannon. This will do so much damage. Shadow on Shadow. He no-shields it. It doesn't knock out, but I can actually Mudshot down. I decide to not throw immediately, but go for a farm down. If it is Skarmory in the back, I want to get as much energy off as possible rather than the farm down here, simply because the lower the Skarmory is, the worse it is against Carbink. Steel Wing is double super effective on the Carbink, but the charge attacks are resisted. They don't do anything at all on the Carbink. So my goal here is to get to as many Hydro Cannon as possible, so it's not an issue anymore. But in fact, I just realized, wait, I just get to another Hydro Cannon here. It doesn't even matter, honestly. So yeah, that will take out the Skarmory. I swear there's a Carbink video, but Swampert is stealing the show here. That's an incredible sweep. Alright, battle number 2. I lead my Poliwrath into Altaria. So annoying. I keep bringing the Carbink here, but it just doesn't get that Altaria. He keeps bringing the Altaria because it's quite strong into my Swampert and Giratina core, but man, I need the Poliwrath, or sorry, the Carbink on this Pokemon, and I'm not getting it there. I Ice Wind the Altaria here. Altaria wins the 0s and the 2 shields, but loses the 1 shield. So I'm going to shield this up. If it is Whiscash Skarmory in the back, as I'm expecting, I want to shield that up. I'm going to throw the Ice Wind right before his Mud Bomb. He has to respect it. A Scald will put this very low. So I expect a shield here. Then I go into Giratina. I keep the Poliwrath for the Skarmory later because it has resisted Steel Wings. So it will still struggle with my Poliwrath. Now I'm in a really good spot because 2 Mud Bomb, 1 knockout. And I should be able to go to just Shadow Claw this thing into even Ominous Wind's range at some point. I'm going to shield this up actually because I realized, wait, if he has Skarmory in the back, this is probably going to do the most damage. Right? Because Carbink doesn't take a lot of damage from the Sky Attack or the Break Bird. So I'm gonna shield it up, Shadow Ball the Wishcash, then he comes in with the Skarmy. I'm gonna go for the Ominous Wind bait. At this point, if he realizes it's the Carbink, he probably wants to shield that because Shadow Ball would do the most damage. He farms up a lot. I expect him here to catch. He does try to catch, simply because he knows the count. He would lose charge priority there to the Giratina, so I swap simultaneously with him, get the count down on the Altaria, and now he has to throw into the Skarmory, and I have a Shadow Ball loaded. I'm gonna throw that. It doesn't knock out yet, though, from the Giratina, but it should make this Skarmory no more of a threat to my Carbink. Yes, it's double super effective Steel Wing, but it doesn't matter. 2 Rock Throw, take it out, and that is a 2-0 win. Carbink was there. This is the final round, and then there will be a top cut. I think I need to win this one to secure top cut, so let's see. I also need to win the whole thing to actually gain points, because I'm almost capped out on local points. Snowman is the one player who really likes Charizard. He has the Lickitung and the Cresselia with the bulk to cover it up. I lead my Pollard into the Charizard, actually, which is terrible. I do have my Carbink in the back, but I'm a little bit afraid of Leaky Cresselia, especially since he's staying in. This is an okay matchup for Umbreon. This is very okay for Umbreon, but it actually gets a little bit nasty because he's like a little bit ahead on... he's like 1 turn ahead. And that's actually very annoying, because he will be able to withstand 1 foul play, and I cannot snarl this down. So I'm going to go for another foul play here. Generally, Umbreon is very fine here. It takes Blast Burns very comfortably, but you're going to see that this Charizard actually is a big problem. The thing is, if Snowman has Lickitung and Cresselia in the back, I need my Carbink on the Cresselia, which is not even a great matchup, and I need my Polarized on the Lickitung. I don't think I will win the even shields here, though. I'm going to throw on alignment because I want to secure that second shield there. I wasn't sure if Blast Burns go to knock out there. I think it barely doesn't, but I think it's the wing attack down. It's kind of unfortunate. I think I will live 2 more, but I won't get to another foul play there, unfortunately. Let's see. I think it gets to Dragon Claw if I come with Polarized. So I'm going to bring the Carbink. Let's see what comes in here. Brings in the Lickitung, and in the back is the Cresselia. So, yeah. Yeah, this is Snowman's speciality. RPSing, inadequates, that is what he's very good at. He used to do this back in the day a lot. I think our record is a little bit 50-50 nowadays, though. So, good call by him. Lickitung Cresselia, of course, is so good when there's, like, no Registeel, so I don't blame him for bringing that core. I also don't get a Scald debuff, so I don't survive the Moonblast there. I'm not sure if I would have survived it either way if it debuffed once. And on top of that, didn't matter. I'm just going to top left this battle because it takes too long. We just go into round number 2. Alright, game number 2, we need to make a comeback here. I lead my Umbreon into his Altaria. This time I didn't bring Carbink though, so that's okay, I guess. I'm actually really weak to Altaria here. Umbreon is arguably my best answer. I also think that it's Lickitung in the back, so this looks terrible. I brought Swampert for mostly neutral play. Like, it does very well into Snowman's team with energy advantage, even in some of his worst matchups such as Lickitung and Cresselia. But this is going to be a big challenge. I kind of want to shield that, but what for? If I give it a shield, his Lickitung with a shield up will clean my backline up, so I can't even shield that. Gonna go for another foul play here. I had to go for it. It won't knock out yet, but if I go for last resort, he might sky attack me before I can throw it even. He shields that, which is awkward. I will be able to get to another foul play, but he throws again here, so that's fine. Expends some energy, which is a lot of energy, right? There's 50 energy there. And now I go in Giratina. I realize it has to be Lickitung in the back. It's probably that same bulky, annoying core in the back again. So I'm just gonna throw away Giratina here. Skytech comes through, puts me very low. I come in with a Shadow Ball perfectly here, but it's for nothing. Like, Lickitung comes in, swapping my Swampert. He swaps in Cresselia. You're in for a treat now. Swampert, a long lost and forgotten god. Bases so quickly to Hydro Cannon that do so much damage. Is it helpless here? Is it helpless here? Let's count the amount of Hydro Cannon we throw here. We have just thrown 1. We are now throwing our second on charge attack priority here. If Snowman wants to fire another one of these, he has to... actually, he doesn't shield yet. So if he wants to fire off another, he had to shield that. Look at this. This is going to be beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goes down with the Grass Knot. I have 2 Hydro Cannon loaded. This is perfect. I'm at 100 energy now. Gonna throw my first Hydro Cannon. That is the 3rd. Now we go for the 4th. But he's very close to a Body Slam. And I think I'm in Body Slam range, which is tough. So, just gonna catch real quick. I actually tried to go for a catch CMP there, but wasn't able to. Because then if I hit a Shadow Ball, then I could have Hydro Cannoned him. But that's okay. Go for the Earthquake now. This will knock out the Lickitung. And sayonara, Lickitung! Swampert takes the game there for me. Game number 3. I need to win this one to secure top cut. Carbink into Lickitung. This is not a winning matchup, but I'm okay here. Especially because I was swamped to the back. But if he's Altaria in the back, I need to draw that. So, I'm predicting him to Throw the Power Whip 1 before my Moonblast. He actually throws an alignment there because I waited a turn, but I couldn't catch. So, didn't expect that. In comes the Altaria. Perfect. Perfect, I say. But what if it's Cresselia in the back? My Swampert just has nowhere to go again. It will be Swampert, the most fragile frog thing. I don't even know what it is, actually. The most fragile thing on my team has to take on the 3 like almost bulkiest Pokemon, bulkiest meta Pokemon basically. Gonna go for another foul player. I mean, he's not like inclined to throw very quickly simply because then my Carbink gets less energy. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown this. Maybe I should have gone for a last resort, but it doesn't matter. He will throw eventually anyway, but he does minimize the farm, which is very smart by him. I probably shouldn't have thrown it because I would get more farm on my on my Carbink. I'm gonna go for the 1 Mudshot advantage here and let the show begin. Let's see what comes in here. Cresselia comes in. I'm 1 Mudshot ahead only this time. Let's see if I can do something with Swampert here. First Hydro Cannon is coming through. Again, this does about 45%, as we saw earlier. Actually shields that. Respects a potential Earthquake. Earthquake's nerfed will still do more than a Hydro Cannon. So, yeah. Let's see. Grass Knot shielded. That would take out my Swampert right away. Gonna throw another Hydro Cannon on Charge Stack priority. It's going very interesting. I believe I'm 1 Rock Throw off a Moonblast as well. Let's see. I shield another one. Obviously, Swampert takes all the shields. I'm not using anything on that Carbink. And then another Hydro Cannon. This will knock out, but they have the Grass Knot right now. I'm 1 off. They kind of have to throw. They might wait. I actually swap immediately. I tried to snipe with a Moonblast there, but I instead make a catch, which is actually even better. And here's why. Yes, this Lickitung has a lot of HP. I'm going to go for a Rock Slide. I want to tempt him to throw his charge attack, so then I can farm a little bit more on my Swampert and then hopefully knock out both Pokemon, because Cresselia is dry at this point. He actually lets me get to a Moonblast. This Moonblast will knock out the Lickitung, but here it comes. This is what this whole video is about. The bulk monster that is Carbink. Do you see the Psycho Cuts adding up? Well, they're not adding up enough. He has to throw here. 9 Psycho Cuts were not enough to take out my Carbink from that range. Now I'm 1 Mudshot off with the Swampert. Swampert and Carbink making a phenomenal show here. No grass types really makes these kind of Pokemon shine. Obviously, Cresselia and Lickitung as pseudo-grass types still make that core very tough to use, but I really like Swampert combined with Carbink in this case, just because they cover each other so well besides those 2 Pokemon. That means now I'm 3-0 and I secured my spot in the top cut, which is again against Snowman. I really hate this matchup, but I have to play him again. I was hoping it would be against like Statistan or Colin, but because I have a great matchup against them. Let's see how I play it this time. I lead my Carbink again, this time into his Cresselia. So obnoxious. Because it's probably that Lickitung in the back again. Either way, we stay into this matchup simply because we are ABA to Cresselia. Now, you're gonna see something very fun in this matchup. Again, yes, we've seen a lot of Swampert, but this is a Carbink showcase video. I stay in because my Potter has a tough matchup in against Cresselia. Hopefully, my Carbink can just wear this out. I'm going for the Moonblast here. It will do respectable damage. You see that a Grass Knot, 2 Grass Knot was not enough. Or sorry, 1 Grass Knot was not enough. 2 Grass Knot are not going to be enough. I have a very, very good Carbink, even though the CP doesn't look that great. I realized only afterwards that my best buddy goes to 15-1, which is terrible. But it still does what it needs to do. It gets to this Rock Slide, just like the simulations on pppoke.com. It gets to that Rock Slide at 1 HP there. 2 HP, actually. And I am able to get a shield there from the Cresselia. Realizing it's likely something like Lickitung, maybe Altaria or Charizard in the back, I think I want to keep the shield for that Polar, because he's likely going to take the energy on the Lickitung either way. So I'm just gonna like farm this all the way down, even though I have to take 2 Moonblasts here, which will put the Umbreon very low. I have a lot of energy here though. He brings in a Whiscash. I definitely didn't expect this to come in. Let's see. Now we're going to Poliwrath. This eases up the Whiscash a little bit. He stays in. Is it the Lickitung? No matter what it is in the back, I will double shoot my Poliwrath and keep all the energy for the final matchup, because whatever comes in next, worst case is Altaria. I can Ice Wind immediately. Lickitung, I Ice Wind immediately, because then the power won't be threatening anymore. In comes the Altaria, I can get to 2 Ice Wind here, and that will soften this matchup so much. He lets the first one through, doesn't matter. Gonna go for another one, this will debuff him even more. At this point, the debuffs don't matter as much anymore, the Ice Wind damage does. I need to get to 2 charge stacks on my Umbreon, and because of the debuffs, I have enough time to get more energy. The Whiscash is dry, so I need to be 3 Snarls off 2 attacks here. Let's see. I already kind of am here, but I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to farm up a little bit more just right before the next Sky attack. Take out this Altaria, and then I think the Wishcash is about in foul play range. I'm going to play it safe. Wishcash must die. I go for the last resort, and that will take game 1 for me in this final. Poliwrath being absolute key here, combined with, again, the Carbink. Even though it was an ABA strategy, Carbink just on mad stats, pushing through that Cresselia, or at least taking a shield advantage. Alright, the final game against Snowman in the top cut. I lead Carbink again, and this time he didn't see it coming. There is Charizard. This, I believe, I'm already saying, if you have Cresselia Lickitung in the back, this is over. I see Cresselia come in, Umbreon comes in. Let's just speed a little bit through this because it takes a while. He's gonna go for 2 Moonblasts. I'm gonna take him out with, I believe, 2 foul play barely won't do the job. Let's see. My first foul play coming through here. And then another one, and I believe this barely won't knock out, but I should be able to get to another one before he gets to 2 attacks here. I cannot farm down without using a shield, and I don't want to use a shield. Poliwrath works the best when it has shields up, basically, kind of. Because you can, like, start debuffing and that kind of annoying stuff. I'm gonna go for the foul play. He starts shielding. That's really adorable, but I'm not gonna let Switch go here. If it's Lickitung in the back, you're mine. So, grass not going through, doesn't matter, I get the Snarl down here. I make a little bit of a slipper here. I thought for a second I could get to foul play, but last resort would have been more efficient here. Doesn't really matter though, I have Carbink anyway. So, Carbink is just gonna wall his Charizard again, and soon you're going to see the fastest switch ever. My finger is ready, boom! There's the Poliwrath into the Lickitung, and I hard countered Snowman in the final battle. The Charizard and the Altaria avoided my Carbink the whole time. Every time it was on Lickitung or Cresselia, except for the final game. I Ice Wind immediately, so the power won't be threatening, and that wins me this cup with Carbink. So that was my Carbink video. I was actually pleasantly surprised by how good it is. I usually don't really like Carbink because of the Wishcash Skarmory weakness, but combined with Poliwrath, it's actually very manageable. I would have liked to be less weak to Altaria, but then I can't align Carbink to Altaria. So yeah, hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.